Yes, good evening.
Good evening, guys.
So, Rahul, how was the
Yes,
visit of Mr. MBS?
MBS was here. Yes,
Yes.
MBS is on tour. So right now he is in China.
China. He
Okay, he
started from Pakistan.
Pakistan. He invested how much? 20? Yeah,
20
20
billion.
billion dollar in
No, not
Pakistan.
invested.
Yeah,
Thinking about investing.
20 billion dollar.
Right.
He is thinking about investing 100
$100
billion
billion
dollar.
in India.
Correct. So these things are also similar to Netaji ka ye kya promises.
Right.
We don't know how much of these things will work out.
Fruitful. But
Yes.
yeah, but he says that he'll invest. He sees an opportunity to invest
Correct.
100 billion
Look
in
at the
India.
words
Yeah.
opportunity to invest in 100 billion dollars,
dollars.
and
Yes.
mainly in refinery, energy,
मतलब जो
mining,
business-
correct, and agriculture.
Agriculture?
Yes, so agriculture, don't know why, but yes,
Yes.
agriculture.
Okay.
Yes, that is the case, and because of which our this thing,
What? ONGC, all of us are-
ONGC, HPCL, BPCL,
Yes.
they were up
Yes.
just because of visit.
visit.
And one more thing that he sees investment of, so he sees this area of refinery and energy.
Okay, but
as
that ONGC was up before even he coming to India. So, like,
and one more thing, Aramco,
uh.
they were, I think there was some talk of Aramco and Reliance for a project.
Okay,
So that
okay.
was that was also a good thing in terms of market. In
yes.
terms of market, that's why market was up. Market, not market, but oil related companies, they were up.
Market, if you talk about, like, it was down for the first half of the week, and then later
Down consecutive 10 days.
yeah,
Nifty
9
was
days.
down.
Yes, consecutive 9 days.
Yes, but Bank Nifty haven't.
It was not down, but it was like upar niche,
Yes.
upar niche.
So it was a clear divergence in that sense.
Right.
And today, Nifty was
I mean,
flattish, and Bank Nifty was down by 200
but that is
points.
only because of one player.
Yes, one and only player.
Kotak
Yes,
Mahindra Bank.
Kotak Mahindra Bank. Finally.
Yes. So
Finally.
INGC, ING Vaishya, it was earlier took. I mean, Kotak Mahindra Bank took over ING Vaishya, and they had some stakes, and there was a block deal. Amazingly, Rahul, the block deal happened at 1130.
Oh, one good one, good price, and that's why they were down. Correct.
Yes.
That's why Kotak was down today.
But it is down by only 4%.
Yes. Now
1238. It's a closing price. And the deal happened at 1130.
So it will be very interesting to see.
Correct.
Will market take the price to 1130? Correct. Will market take the price to 1130?
Yes.
Let's see. That's
So
a very important point to see.
We were wondering कि आज Black Friday में 30%
Yes.
कौन आएगा?
So everybody was like discussing that Kotak will be the culprit.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
but today
There was a positive.
there was a positive 30% growth in a particular stock.
Yes.
And that stock was also a surprising factor. Nobody believed it.
That stock is somewhat similar to Reliance Communication and other stocks.
No. Tell
Huge
them.
debt stocks. Like
Tell them.
Promoter shares pledged, huge debt. That is a similar stock. So Suzlon was the one thing that today, Friday, yes, and it was up by 30%.
30%.
Okay. So, I mean,
Huge
if
thing.
Suzlon is up by 30%, you'll be wondering, right? Wow. It was up by 30%, the price was up by 5 rupees. So yeah, that was
that's
so
the thing.
a Danish company is supposed to be taking over the controlling stakes of Suzlon.
Finally.
But Suzlon management has said that no comments on this on official BSE website.
Thank God.
So they have maintained that they are finding out ways to reduce their debt.
I don't even track Suzlon. But interestingly, that is a stock. That is a stock of 5 rupees, and still it is in a FNO segment. Huge thing, correct?
It is 5 rupees. It wasn't 5 rupees.
Yeah. It is 5 rupees, and still in FNO segment.
Yes, FNO segment.
Huge
so
thing.
Those of you who do not know, the lot size of Suzlon was 72,000.
72,000. That means if you lose 10 paisa, 7,000 chala gaya.
7,000 chala gaya.
Wow.
And the bid ask is 5 paisa.
It's still 5. I thought they must reduce it to 1 paisa.
No, but that is the norm. 5 paisa is
My
the
God.
bid ask.
So no need to trade in Suzlon unless and until you have insider news.
And what is that?
There is no insider
all
news.
these stocks which were like beaten down, this week was somewhat relief for them. Like even if you talk about ADAG stocks.
ADAG stocks. Mr. Anil Ambani.
Anil
So this
Ambani.
was the week of Mr. Anil Ambani.
Correct.
He was in trouble from all the sides.
Yes.
Nothing new. Nothing new.
So I was just reading an article. Mr. Anil Ambani was the third richest person in India in 2008.
Agreed.
When R Power was
agreed.
I mean
IPO
had come into the
Correct.
picture.
Correct.
And Reliance Communication was his highest. I mean, in terms of market capitalization and also among his wealth, Reliance Communication was the highest contributor at that point of time.
Wow.
23 to 24% of
RCom.
Yes.
It seems like 2, 3, 4 decade back story.
2008.
Yes, Karlo Duniya Muthi Mein.
Yes.
My goodness.
That was the story. And then now the RCom, what is the market cap?
No, forget about market cap. Who cares about market cap now? They all are in trouble. So you have some numbers about pledge shares, correct?
So,
yes.
To start with, first of all, you know that there is a 453 crore. He has to pay 453 crore to Ericsson for the services that he's used during his period when RCom was a company, official company. So they have mentioned that the 453 crores will be coming. They've already deposited 180 crores, and surprisingly, 260 crores is what the tax refund is they are expecting.
Wow, tax refund of 260 crores. Interesting.
Surprising. And remaining, they are saying that they are expecting 780 crores from Jio.
Bhai se aega.
Because they have sold their optical fiber network to them. So 780 crores is something which is expecting from them. So they can repay that. They can probably call in for an early payment from them and they can repay that. That is what they have said. But I was just
didn't happen. Correct.
Going through. There is one more thing that happened that until November, right? There's
September.
Until September.
Everything started with the Edelweiss firm.
Correct.
Edelweiss dumped off
L&T Finance.
Yes, they dumped this Anil Ambani Group shares.
So, and why did they dump?
Means correct. They have a right. Correct.
Yes. So if you have a pledged shares with you of some company, and if it falls below the market cap of the current value of the shares, say for example, you have taken 100 crores debt and the shares is worth 100 crores, the pledge. If it falls below that,
agreed.
You have the right to sell.
You have right to sell, and there is nothing illegal.
Yes.
Why Anil Ambani sued them in court? God knows. Correct. It must be a pressure tactic.
Yeah. Correct. So just to justify that, okay, I'm not doing anything. I'm trying to fight for my company. Even in the statement, he said that I fought RCom, but now it's not in my hands. I'm letting it go.
So it's of no use now. Correct. It's of no use.
So the stats which I have is
so our point was that L&T Finance and Edelweiss dumped off the shares
because they were having pledged shares of these companies.
So Anil Ambani went to court, pressurized these lenders, and then there was a in principle agreement between lenders and Anil Ambani that they will not sell till September. Okay, so he must have given some timetable deadline related to money.
So till September they
will not sell, and that's why shares were up.
Right.
Correct. But that doesn't mean you should buy it.
But there is a possibility that these shares might be up because somewhere down the line, if he's not going to pay, they have to still dump. अभी 8 रुपए में dump कहाँ करेंगे?
So agreed. Yeah. So that is why. So the big people will use this opportunity to make money.
I was still hearing
or reduce losses
in my I have in
groups.
We are hearing that. RCom
buy
karna chahiye. It's good buy. It's right now. It can go about 12, 13 rupees. There were talks about R Power buy. So this is something which is happening. So I was just going through RCom earlier. Anil Ambani Group had 53% stake.
In RCom.
And now it is down to 49%.
Done and dusted.
So that means the selling of the pledged shares that happened.
Yep.
And then still 30% of the 53% that is there is pledged.
Okay. So almost 60% is pledged.
Okay, so
correct.
So
60% of his stake is
pledged. His stake is 30% of his stake.
Agreed. Done.
Okay.
Okay, like that.
30% of his stake.
Done.
Again,
Okay.
Reliance Capital, it had 52% stake.
Okay.
It has come down to 48%.
Okay.
The stake which he was holding.
Okay.
And now 75% of his stake is pledged. 75%.
Reliance Capital.
And Reliance Capital we are talking
It
about.
was a very good company.
Yes. Supposed to be a very good
now
company.
that company has debt of entire group. Instead
Reliance-
of financing the world, it is financing
So
in
Reliance
a bad way.
Infra,
In a bad way.
अपना मुंबई का metro,
My God.
Reliance Infra, it earlier had 48% stakes. Now it has come down to 45% because of the stake sales. I mean the pledge sales, and it is still out of the 48% which was there, 83% are pledged.
There is nothing.
83.
So there is nothing in this group.
Yes, 83%.
There is nothing. And if you see closely, RelCap,
Yes.
correct? In finance and financial services.
Right.
This infra based out of means in infra projects, very good
Correct.
infra projects. They had BACS also.
Yes,
Correct.
we had BSCS also.
R power is
there.
R power is still
Talking
there.
about-
Okay.
So R power at 40%, it come down to 39%, and R power again has 84%.
So there is nothing in group,
pledged.
and there is nothing in Arcom also now.
Right.
They have
So
sold off everything.
everything.
Every good major part is sold
Sold
off.
off.
So guys, please do not think of entering in this.
There is no point.
There is no point.
There is no business. He has taken huge debt, and these many shares are pledged.
Correct.
So the moment any panic happens, like there is a liquidity crunch in our market, why will a hedge fund hold these shares?
No. They will dump.
They will dump these shares,
Yes,
right?
yes.
80% pledged. That is huge.
Huge thing.
So I mean, yes, you can expect a small bounce because obviously these shares have to have good valuation, right?
Fire. You can expect good bounce. And last time also, I think we discussed this. Correct. God knows what is going to happen with this. So this is Anil Ambani.
Anil Ambani.
Correct.
Yes.
Now next is our beloved RBI. So again,
So
the
Christmas
Mr.
is still going on as we talking about every week.
is
right?
in RBI. Correct. Because our beloved Shaktikant Das, again, Mr. Shaktikant Das came forward for the press interview.
Yes.
Not press interview, but joint press conference with
Government.
Finance Minister
Yes.
Arun Jaitley.
Yes.
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley convincingly told to the world that the dividend decision will be completely of RBI's, and in 6 hours, RBI declared the 28,000 crore dividend to
Yes. It will be
government.
completely RBI's decision.
Yes.
Okay.
Along with that, they issued 12,000 crore ka OMO.
Yes.
They along with that, they infused 48,000 crore in
public
PCA
sector banks.
Yes, PCA.
Public
Prompt
sector,
Corrective Action Return Bank.
Right.
Okay, so that they will come out of prompt corrective actions and they will be able to lend henceforth. That means they will be able to do business henceforth. So RBI working relentlessly. What happened to my RBI working very hard for doing all kind of stuff to help Indian economy.
So
Good thing. RBI.
Ranit has a statement. Still, Arcom debt is 40,000, and the whole group is
70.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a done. So correct. It's a done and dusted story.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
it's a done and dusted story.
Yeah, you were talking about.
So yeah, which one? This RBI. RBI is doing everything to help our economy.
I mean, today there were talks of. I was reading an article that they are thinking about giving 50 basis to 60 basis point rate cut.
So why they are doing it? So
plus, I mean, yesterday we were discussing that they went to banks and they said that please cut the rates.
So
and
that there was one meeting, correct, between
correct.
bank official of the heads and
Yes.
yeah. So they were discussing what?
They wanted to cut the rates. They were discussing with the banks to cut the rates. We will give further rate cut to you, and that is what we were discussing. But did not budge. The banks did not budge according to this. So banks are not ready to give rate cuts, but RBI
is ready to
and
cut the rate.
And again, there is like 50 basis point rate cuts. Matlab, it will be new low in terms of like whatever we had the rate cuts.
So the speed with which it is going,
Correct.
we need to be blunt now. With the speed with which they are taking the decisions, it seems that it is completely for the election.
It does not seem like it's a government. like तुरंत एक दिन में सब decisions आ रहे हैं.
So RBI also,
Yes.
the way they are, so the thing is, if they should have done this in a much planned manner.
Right.
They are just declaring all the things one after the other.
Right.
Correct. So we were just discussing. Correct. RBI given how much? They gave 28,000 crore, and after 12 hours after that, government announced 48,000 crore ka recapitalization. That
PSS.
means.
So PSAs will start.
So the thing is, whatever they are doing, they are doing it to window dress entire Indian economy. You saw window dressing of corporates, you saw window dressing of companies.
Yes.
Welcome and see window dressing of entire country. And this is not new. Every country does that during election time.
Okay.
Every country does that.
Plus,
it's not okay.
No, I'm saying plus they were falling short of the GDP target growth. I mean GDP growth rate. So they had to, because that will be also something which will be an election agenda.
Yeah. So entirely election driven things are going on.
So I was just wondering, there is so much infusion of money that is happening.
So again, people should not take it in a different manner. We are not saying that Indian economy doesn't want credit. We are completely with that.
Correct.
We think that we require credit. But the thing is, it's not you should just pump the money. It should be the structure should be ready so that pumping of the money will be helpful, and there will be a chronological effect. The
has to be
ballooning of effect in the economy that has to be there. But right now, only pumping of the money is going on. Government has only 1 month, so they will not. There will not be structure. No one will guide this. Correct.
So Rahul, the thing is, PSU, the prompt corrective action was for a reason, because these banks were careless.
So
the problem is not rectified. It's just that they are safeguarding it.
Yeah. Again, they are.
You have a naughty child at your home. Rather than correcting his mistakes, you are hiding him.
Yeah. So the thing is, every year there is a new problem in PSUs.
Correct.
With the same root cause.
Right.
And every year they use same remedy, that is the recapitalization. Every budget,
correct,
same remedy, either recapitalization or divestment. Correct. Using same remedy to correct the new problem.
Right.
But problem is not going away. Problem is not going away.
It's still there.
So I don't know.
So my point was, like, so much of infusion is happening. It should reflect on Bank Nifty, right?
Why isn't it reflecting in
Bank
Nifty? It's not reflecting in Bank Nifty.
So that means investors are still not confident.
So this, because this prompt correct. So investing 48,000 crore just to get out of prompt correction, that means that money is not going to used by banks to generate new business.
Right.
That they will pay their interest on the tier 1 capital, whatever they have raised.
Right.
Correct. So that money is gone like this.
Correct. And what about their defaults, like the NPAs which were there? There is no questioning on that.
Yeah. So people are also suggesting that NPA cycle has turned. So we need to study about that. Okay, frankly.
How come we can say that? Like,
so that's what. So this is the official statement from RBI governor, official statement from Finance Ministry, that NPA cycle has turned. So we need to study and do bit research about that.
Correct. So as soon as the appointment of Shaktikanta Das you were talking about, things are going very smooth.
Smooth. They are going through. And one more thing happened.
It's like the train.
कौन सा train?
जो चलते ही रुक गया.
Okay, चलते ही रुक. Oh goodness. Which one was that? Semi-fast, something like that. Super, whatever. So one more thing. Engineless train. Correct. उसको इंजन से खींच के लाना पड़ा ना, पता नहीं. That was a joke. Forget about that. So I don't know. One more thing happened. So Niti Aayog advisor advised government to have separate government debt management system. So this is one more attack on RBI. So again, we are not saying it is good, bad.
Last week we discussed about OMOs.
Right. So same thing. Yeah. So what RBI does? So what the argument is, RBI has so much work. the forex management, interest rate management, growth rate management, inflation management, government debt management, everything.
Employee management, government management,
everything. So they are saying, so to reduce government cost of debt, we need to have different debt department, and it should be away from RBI. So again, they are trying to break up the functions of RBI. They break up the functions of RBI. Okay, so that is all happening in India.
So yeah. So but then what will this if new entity will come? Still OMOs.
So this is just an advice now at this point. But if advice is there, that means plan is ready. Yes or no?
So keep a track of these OMOs, because if these OMOs are not fetching in funds, they have to do something about it.
Yes.
So keep a track of bond yields as well. That should give you an indication what is happening with OMOs, because they have to come up with a higher yield, because current bond yield is already giving them that much amount of returns. So to keep a track of that.
Yes, and on the topic of funds, you must be seeing various municipality works going on around your city and villages. This is the time to dump off all the corporate, all the MLA, all the MP fund.
But this is always the case.
Yes. So what my point is different this time around. Last time we discussed of conspiracy. This time you might see real uptick in GDP because of this.
Yeah.
It will not be equivalent to the amount of fund they have taken out.
Correct.
But there will be an uptick because of this. Might be. Don't know. Just a thought. One more thing. We talked about Fed. Let's go abroad. Let's go abroad.
Fed is not going to reduce its balance.
Okay. So yeah. We are planning to talk about Fed. So Fed, the minutes has released I think January end minutes, meeting minutes, and Fed is saying that we will halt the interest rate rise. Correct. Okay, we are not going to raise the interest rate if everything is okay. Again, that is not a confirmative statement. That is just a.
But then that is some kind of a dilasa.
Correct. We are considerate. That's the stuff. Right. Second, the most important point which they mentioned is that we all know since 2009, Fed was buying bond to infuse liquidity. Till 2000, in last few months of 2017, they started selling off those bonds. Because since 2015, December 2015, they stopped the QE, they raised the interest rate. Right. But from 17 end, they started selling of these bonds. And now Fed is like, okay, we have sold fair bit quantity. Still, they have $4 trillion on their books. And they are like, okay, we will hold for a time being. We will see how economy is going to react. And if there is a sudden uptick in inflation, then only we will again go back to our previous stance. So that is Fed, and that is good news, I guess.
That is why Dow Jones was up the whole week.
That was good news. Good news. One more interesting thing happened.
Yes.
So Fed balance sheet is 4 trillion. The US consumer debt numbers is out, and that is also 4 trillion.
So Ranit on this is saying US debt fund managers like Howard Marks indirectly saying recession can be in 2019-20. Cycles also suggest 10 years in the last.
Slow down. Yeah. So Ranit, and for everyone, it can happen, no problem. But if you see, go and find out last. Before 7-8 years news. Every fund, every now and then, funds people are coming forward and they are talking about recession and the bust.
Yes.
So the thing is, we are not saying that he is wrong.
Yes,
it may turn out to be, because there is one more thing, that large number of corporate bonds maturity is looming.
Correct.
It is going to come in next few years.
So how US, UK, Euro, everyone.
So that is going to be interesting. So how these corporates are going to deal the situation, that will decide what is going to happen in economy.
Correct. And if US continued the program, a debt reduction, balance sheet reduction program, then this would have been a problem.
So let's see. It will be interesting.
Correct.
It will be interesting.
Yes.
It will be interesting.
We don't think it might happen, but we are not like, okay, relax, ki nahi hoga.
Yes, because
if it happens, we have to be ready for it.
Because if you see since last 10 years, 50%, not 50, few means there are enough people who are saying it's bullish, and there are enough people who are saying it's not bearish but crisis.
Crisis, right?
Correct.
Right.
So there are things are going that way.
We hear, I forgot the name.
Mark Faber.
Yes.
People are there.
Yes, Mark Faber. Yes. So if you just Google it, Mark Faber, we'll see all the negativity that is there.
Yes. We are also not saying they were incorrect. The thing is, US very successfully managed this stopping of QE and increase of interest rate. They have managed very successfully.
Or the corporates or the stock markets have taken it. They are still holding it.
Yeah, because the tax reduction.
Correct.
They gave tax reduction because of that. Nothing else.
Yes,
tax reduction and buybacks.
Correct.
So tax reduction के वजह से उनके पास पैसा आया. उस पैसे से उन्होंने buyback किया.
Correct.
So because of that, stock market was up. Correct. And they very sophisticatedly managed this interest rate rise. Otherwise, from 0.25 to 2.5 in just 3 years,
right.
It's huge. And that too on $20 trillion balance sheet. Not balance sheet, but debt, US debt. We are not saying all the debt is on that rate. But we are saying that debt is that much huge.
Right.
And the things are, and we are talking about government debt. There is consumer debt. Correct. There is different entity. There is corporate debt. That's a different entity.
Yes.
So that's why people were like, this rising of interest rate might be the point where US is going to fail. But that didn't happen. Now people are like, okay, corporate का जब maturity होगा,
bond होगा,
तो शायद हो सकता है. And it has to be this probabilistic.
Yes, it has to be probabilistic. So another thing is we had last week Bitcoin news.
One more.
Bitcoin news.
US consumer this US consumer debt number is also $4 trillion, which is equal to Fed ka balance sheet. Those are different state. $4 trillion. Okay, and both are different guys. Okay, this is $4 trillion.
So US के लोगों ने 2.5 India.
US के लोगों ने
2.5 India
और GDP per year GDP का. So out of that, 1 trillion is credit card loan.
Oh, I know 1 trillion is education loan. Last time
now it's 1.5.
1.5 trillion is education
loan. So कैसा है कि सारे जवानों को डेट में डाल दो.
जवान मतलब
no
आजकल जवान मतलब youngsters.
So youngsters not जवान. Sorry for that. youngsters सारे youngsters को डेट में डाल दो. आगे तो काम अच्छा ही है फिर. सब बढ़िया है फिर तो.
Yes, on this note, there is also Elon Musk came up.
Opposite side.
Elon Musk came up with a statement, right?
Correct.
So Elon Musk said that Bitcoin is a better
vehicle
yes,
for transactions than
currencies.
Paper currencies.
Yes.
So again, Bitcoin का फायदा.
And there's one more, like Bank of Japan, right? So Bank of Japan is coming up with their own cryptocurrencies.
South Korean, so there is one city or village, whatever that is, city who is going to have their own cryptocurrencies.
Oh.
Yes. So on this point, guys, look, so 1993 internet started, 1999 bubble burst.
Correct.
Then we saw various reasonable companies with the use of internet,
right?
Same with the cryptos.
Optical fiber.
Crypto burst hua.
Yes.
Crypto burst hua. Now people are adopting proper cryptos in a proper way. Let's see. It's still early days. Let's see. One more point. Now this is the end of our good time. Uber Eats, they have decided to sell their company. Uber has decided to sell Uber Eats either to Swiggy or Zomato. Swiggy is the
Saturday ko kya hoga?
It's done. Done. So no more good times. We hate you, Uber.
Saturdays are gone.
So we were very used to this PE money funded Saturday's lunch and dinner. That's it from our side. Just go and have a look at that Uber Eats ka story. It's an interesting story again. And I want to see for how much, what will be the swap ratio.
Why was there so much promotion earlier? But
I don't know. So I don't know. And I'm a very interesting, it will be very interesting to see what will be the valuation of Uber Eats in just 1 year?
But actually, they are already people are smart. Actually, they are actually less depend on the food delivery business. They actually shifted their business model to cloud kitchen actually, because there is the good margin, just like the Boxset has done.
Correct.
Okay, so Boxset is a very good model. Boxset is a very good model. So again, Chirag, just to be clear, you are saying Uber, they are going to shift to food delivery, from food delivery to.
I'm not saying might be completely
no. You're talking about different model.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whoever survive in this market, they completely shifted to in the cloud kitchen actually.
Cloud business. Let's see, because this market is cutthroat. This market is cutthroat.
अभी तो आया था.
अभी तो आया था, and that's why it will be very interesting to see their valuation. Yes. And it is means people are saying that Swiggy is giving better deal to Uber Eats, and post share swapping, Uber will hold 10% of Swiggy new entity.
So it's cloud kitchen. If you go and see Boxset business model, it's similar to that. So see Boxset.
So cloud kitchen is a fancy word again. Cloud kitchen is nothing. You will have a one kitchen. From there you will deliver to all your locality.
Cloud computing का ज़माना है क्या?
So to have tech valuations. Okay, no problem. That's it.
Everyone, because of they are interested on the Uber Eats just because of the technology majority.
Yeah. Uber is all about technology. So no. Uber has disrupted the entire mobility.
Just like the,
agreed. No. So
definitely they have customers. No doubt.
Agreed. So
we were the customers on Saturday.
We were the loyal customer. So I was not condemning these guys, or I was not like they are not innovating. They have done the fair enough innovation, but there are companies who are half tech but still carrying out the valuation of full-blown tech companies. So that was a sarcasm kind of a thing. Thank you very much, guys.
Yes,
See you. Bye.